Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the brand new Diadora Maracana for 2013. Now for those of you guys that have watched my channel for a long time now, you probably know that I speak very highly of the Diadora Maracana model. One being that it comes in at $95, making it a fantastic value, and two being that the leather quality on the shoe makes it one of the best leather soccer shoes currently out there on the market, especially if you are looking for a more traditional style of feel. Now for the 2013 update, you can see that Diadora has gone for a slightly more modern design, I would say. They've gone for a central lacing system, they've ditched the fold over tongue. For the most part, the stitching and the pattern on the leather remains exactly the same, as well as the back half of the shoe. You can see that they did remodel the external heel counter just a little bit, and it's actually a little bit bigger, which is something that I like. And you can see that they've swapped out for a different sole plate and stud pattern, which may appear to be very, very different, but in terms of performance, I think it's still going to be there and is going to be up to par with the previous version of the Maracana. Just something a little bit more traditional that probably will fit the vibe of the shoe a little bit better. But the major change here is that the shoe is no longer kangaroo leather and is instead a full grain calfskin leather material. And I know that a lot of people are going to be unhappy about that. Kangaroo leather is viewed as the best of the best in terms of natural materials, but in all honesty, if you didn't tell me that this was calfskin, I would have just assumed it was exactly the same as the previous Maracana. It feels just as soft, the thickness is identical, and like I said, the quality of the leather is definitely not a step down, at least from what I can tell from right out of the box. Now, a lot of websites will list this as kangaroo leather, but I have actually reconfirmed with Diadora, as well as the tags that you get on the shoe will actually indicate that it is calfskin leather as opposed to kangaroo leather. So it isn't a mistake on my part. The shoe isn't kangaroo leather. Just keep that in mind. But still, for the $95 retail, and you can actually get these for a little bit less through the Buy It Now link down below in the description. Be sure to go ahead and check that out. You're still getting a top-notch, high-quality leather soccer shoe that is arguably better than what you're going to get from some of the bigger brands and at a much lower cost. I know that a lot of people that I have recommended the Maracana to that have gone for a pair have all been very, very happy with their purchase because it is that good of a soccer shoe. And I know for a low price, people want high quality, and you're definitely getting it here. Another thing to talk about is durability. And while I haven't worn the shoes, just from past experience with Diadora models, they tend to be very, very well made. Like I said, very high quality natural materials. And you can see that the sole plate is actually riveted to the upper here at the toe. So if sole separation is something that you worry about, it's probably not going to be an issue with this particular model. Now, just to quickly touch on the leather itself, very high quality, very soft, and it has a really good thickness about it. The tongue itself is also in leather. There's just an idea as to the thickness of it. It provides a very, very nice padded feel on the ball that is a lot different from something like the Nike Premier, like the Nike Tiempo Legend, and even something like the Puma King or the Adipure 11 Pro from Adidas. It's just a very kind of old school type of shoe, more comparable to maybe like the Adidas Copa Mundial, but I would argue that this provides an even softer touch on the ball, which may be hard to believe, but it really is true. You will find also like a grip coating here on the upper. You can see there's an unusual stitching pattern, and inside of this stitching pattern you will find a slightly shinier finish on the upper. It doesn't provide too much in the way of grip, and it will be most noticeable when the shoes are new out of the box. But once you've worn it a couple times, I find the grip coating to just wear off, and it doesn't really change your touch on the ball all that much. Like I mentioned, you do have a central lacing system this time around as opposed to laces being set to the outside, and I think that's going to make for a tighter, more secure fit after break-in because the leather on this shoe will stretch a significant amount. Have a same kind of lower cut here in the heel. Like I mentioned, a redesigned external heel counter with a little kind of flex groove here, so it should be very, very flexible and comfortable, while at the same time keeping your heel locked in place. You do have a mesh padded heel liner here that feels very, very comfortable and shouldn't allow for any kind of rubbing or blistering on the inside of your shoe. As far as the insole goes, it is fully removable, as you can see. Pretty straightforward. You have a mesh liner on top, and it's just a single layer of foam, nothing too thick, but definitely will get the job done in terms of providing that nice step in comfort. Now, moving on to the sole plate and stud pattern, like I mentioned, it is completely different, and this is a sole plate and stud pattern combination that you will find on other Diadora models. You have 14 studs in total, 10 in the forefoot, 4 under the heel, all conical in shape, as you guys can see. And then you have that zigzag excellar kind of technology system that they have on a lot of Diadora models, where it's supposed to provide a more responsive feel. And in terms of stiffness, it definitely is a little bit stiffer than what you found from the previous Diadora Maracana. And again, I've never really used this particular stud pattern, so I don't know too much about it in terms of how it's going to perform. But just judging by the narrow profile of the studs, they should penetrate the ground pretty easily and provide some decent traction. They aren't overly long either, so if you are playing on harder firm ground surfaces, this is definitely something to take a look at. So that's pretty much it as far as the unboxing and technical specifications of the shoe. And to move on now to a quick weigh-in so you can see how lightweight these guys are. While the Maracana isn't necessarily a lightweight soccer shoe, it isn't something that's going to weigh you down either. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 8.5 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that these guys weigh in at 9.75 ounces. So slightly above average weight for a modern soccer shoe. But again, keep in mind that the quality of the leather on the upper is absolutely incredible. It does have a slightly more padded feel, and also it's under that $100 price point. And in comparison to other popular kangaroo leather soccer shoes or leather-based shoes out there on the market, like the Nike Tiempo Legend 4, this is pretty much right on par with weight with a shoe like that. Just a little bit more, but again, nothing that you're going to be able to notice on your feet. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion of this video. I'm going to move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and what the sizing is like. Alright, here's a look at the Maracanas on feet, and I have to say I'm really happy with how these feel. I definitely prefer the central lacing system over the laces being pushed to the side. It runs a little bit deeper and it allows you to get a much more snug fit across the entire shoe, at least width-wise. Now in terms of the fit of the shoe and width, this is one of those shoes that's going to fit pretty much all foot types. I'm about an average width foot person, and you can see that there is plenty of extra width still in the shoe, and because it is made from such a soft leather upper, you will get some decent stretch out of it as well. So if you do have wide feet, this is definitely a good option, but if you don't have wide feet, this is still a very wearable shoe as well. In terms of sizing, I'm wearing a size 8.5 US, which is a half size smaller than I would normally wear. For the most part, it has a very tight feel about it, but of course the leather will stretch. So I would say that if you want a very tight fit, you can go a half size down. But if you want something that fits snug and has a little bit of extra room, you can definitely stay true to size. So that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of this video. I'm going to move on next to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing of the 2013 Diadora Maracana. From what I can tell so far, based on first impressions, it is every bit as good as the previous model. Of course, the leather quality is not identical, but it's still up there. I personally like the central lacing system a little bit better, and I'm very excited to see how this brand new sole plate and stud pattern will perform with this upper combination. As always guys, the full written review will come hopefully in the next month or so once I've gotten a chance to wear this guy. But in the meantime, if you guys would like more information, be sure to check out the review page on my website. You will find the high quality images of this shoe that will give you a better idea as how they actually do look in person, as well as buy it now links with the best prices online, including exclusive SR4U coupon codes. So if you are looking for a great deal, this is definitely a shoe to take a look at. If you have any questions regarding the Maracana, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description. And other than that guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.